Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Right on our strength. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you have joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here hanging out and having a ball. And we have got Brad Sweet and Ryan Smith coming up. Some big winners this weekend.
Very big winners.
Man, I'll tell you what, business is picking up across the board. So, yeah, how are you? How's everything?
I'm good. Very good. Yourself?
Fantastic. I got to see a little sprint car racing this week.
Yeah.
Went up to 311 Speedway to see our friends with the Carolina Sprint Tour. Okay. First and foremost, 25 of those rascals signed in.
That's a great car.
Yeah, when you look at it, there was only 3 or 4 from out of the area. And they may lose 1 or 2 to some 360 racing. But there's at least 4, which is good.
Yeah.
There's at least 4 on the drawing board, new cars.
Wow.
In the area.
That's great. That series has really grown.
We've talked about it, and it's good.
Yeah.
We
need sprint car racing around here.
Where we are, it is good. And what this does is then when Pete Walton comes through with USCS with the 360 racing, it makes that better.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a sprint car culture when the World of Outlaws are here for the race in May and the World Finals.
Yeah.
And you become an area. You're not going to be Ohio or Pennsylvania or Northern California or Knoxville or Jackson. You're not going to be that. But you become respectable. Then maybe some point you can kind of work toward that. But it's.
I mean, we certainly have enough dirt tracks around here. It's just a matter of
more dirt tracks and late models you could shake a stick at. Holy cow! Nick Tucker won on Friday night, and Nick works over at Stewart Haas Racing.
Yeah, his old Evernham Motorsports.
Yeah, is it okay?
Employee.
And then Jake McLean. Now I've had a good luck here because the last 2 times, the 2 races I went to, Brandon scored his career first win, and then Jake won on Saturday night.
You're the lucky charm.
Must be. He was rolling. Jake Kirkland is the champion. You know the Kirkland.
Oh, yeah.
You go back with John Kirkland.
Oh, yeah, way
his
back
dad.
to the Empire Super Sprints and even before that.
Empire Super Sprints.
They're good people,
times.
and
Great
they have
people.
a lot of fun, especially the father.
They really do. They averaged 17 cars this season. But, okay, Erin, you know as I travel around the country, I go to some spectacular restaurants. You know that.
Yes, we know you're a food connoisseur.
Yes, you know that. And you know that as I travel around the country, I go to some spectacular racetracks. I mean, from Daytona, Indy, to Knoxville, to Eldora, to Williams Grove, to Port Royal, and to Attica. I mean, I go to spectacular racetracks, okay? So the McLeans, my buds, okay, Brandon, Jake, and their dad, who is the coolest guy on the planet, Doug, okay? They had a guy cooking.
Oh, boy.
Aaron Gaddy is his name. Now, he's Harvick's pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But the Cup guys were at the Roval, so Harvick didn't need a pilot. He made some tuna on the grill that was really, really good, okay? He made some filet mignon that was outstanding. But Aaron, whatever he did with the shrimps, they are the best shrimps that I've ever had.
Wow, and you've had some shrimps.
I've had
some.
I've had some shrimps. I've had some shrimps. And
what were they? Were they marinated? Were they grilled?
Well, they were grilled. They were grilled. The marinade, there was some garlic. There might have been some butter. And I don't know what else it was, but I am telling you, if I ever need to be marinated for any purpose, I want to be marinated in that.
I don't want to.
Just dip me in, just strip me down naked, dip me in a vat, and pull me back out, and I will be a happy camper.
Wait, I thought at Knoxville you wanted to be marinated in the butter.
I want to do the butter thing too. I want to do that too. So
that's something
maybe that's a feature
stuck
we can
in my
do.
brain. Maybe
that's a feature we can do next year. We'll see if we can sell a sponsor on that. Yeah, dipping the naked postman in different marinades. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm busy that day.
I think the
Ashley,
sponsorship
Erin.
might be a little tough sell on that one. I'm not sure, but this was phenomenal. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I took the first shrimp. I'm like, like you're standing at 311 Speedway that is not the nicest track on the planet. It's a local dirt track.
Yeah.
You're standing there and it's like, did I just have what was, and then the second one and the third one and the next skewer.
The 12th one and the, yeah.
It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. That's what it's all about. Great times at the racetrack.
Yeah.
They're really neat. Oh, and the
Sprint
food
cars
and the eats. Yeah. That was good stuff. Great fun. Let's take a look at our classic ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Okay, Friday night. Now listen to this. Okay, Logan Schuchart, our man, the Dryden car. Prior to Friday night at Eldora, listen to these finishes. Second, fourth, third, second. He's due.
Yeah.
And he got it. Now that second from the second one, the last one was the King's Royal.
Oof.
But he got it with the before the crown win. But man, when we talk about Eldora and we start looking at next year, you have got with the numbers like that.
Yeah.
Schuchart is just rolling around that joint.
He sure is. I mean, and then add all the other wins he's had this year.
Oh, my
God.
It's unreal.
He's going to be a contender for the points championship pretty soon.
I think so, too. I really do. That's a fun deal, and that is so much fun. Obviously, it goes back to Bobby Allen. That's a great story. But then Bobby takes this team out, and when he took this team out 5 or 6 years ago, there's not a soul on the planet that other than the Bobby Allen factor.
Yeah.
Everyone said, that's the craziest thing in the world. There's only one man in the world that can pull that off, and that's Bobby Allen.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone acknowledged they were giving Bobby his due. Well, here we are. And they acknowledge us and talking with him. Then they get a couple years down the road. The Marshalls jump in and help him out a little bit.
Yep.
Priority Aviation, Jennifer and Richard Marshall. And then Dryden comes along. And they've acknowledged that had Dryden come along early, they wouldn't have been able to take good care of him, and it probably wouldn't have lasted long.
Yeah.
But now they're at the stage with a growing sponsor, with a growing team, with a growing notebook, with growing talented race car drivers, 2 of them.
Yeah,
Jacobs,
absolutely.
and it's just like a scenario that you could not script this out any better.
No one would have pictured them where they are today.
No one would have pictured them where they are today. Exactly, and it's great. And Dryden, one of our partners here on Wing Nation, and look where they're growing to. This week it's the Dryden 400 up at Dover, and they're sponsored Corey LaJoie's car. So another burgeoning, growing company. Their roots are with Shark Racing, though. You talk to Dave Klinger there, man. The whole thing.
He's great.
He's cool, and the whole thing. It's like everyone's bringing him sponsor proposals, and someone said the name Bobby Allen. He said, "Man, when I was a kid, my grandpa took him to the racetrack. There was some guy named Bobby Allen, coolest guy on the planet." And I said, "Yeah, it's him." That's how the whole thing started when Dryden was coming back on board. And so Bobby Allen is the man there with him, and they keep growing this thing. And it's just, the story is phenomenal. I've gotten to know the Dryden folks over the last little bit. I went to Dover and did their sponsor announcement, and they are just the coolest people. So I love what's happening for them, love what's happening for Logan, for Jacob, for Bobby. But more important than all of that, I love the story it gives sprint car racing.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what it's all about.
It gives the rest of us, people younger, coming, a thought. If they did it, maybe we can do it.
Absolutely. So great stuff. Saturday night, Lernerville, the Commonwealth Clash. Brad Sweet, his 16th win of the season, 50th of the career. Tie that in with Donnie Schatz finishing 18th, and Sweet's got a 40-point lead going into Pennsylvania. We're going to talk to Brad in just a little bit, but off to a really, they're in a really good spot where they're at. Ollie's Bargain Outlet, All-Star Circuit of Champions were at Eldora, part of the 4 Crown. Aaron Reitzel, his 16th win of the season. Man, that guy. Oh, God, are you kidding me? Central Pennsylvania, Williams Grove, it was an outlaw tune-up, $8,000 to win. When you put that money out there, you might just as well write the check to $69K.
Mm-hmm.
Lance Deweese, his 98th Williams Grove win. Okay.
One track.
Now, I mean, this National Open this week is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Because the Outlaws are so locked in. Pennsylvania's locked in. Reitzel's locked in and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But in theory, and I know I'm getting way ahead of myself. Lance wins on Friday night, number 99. Think about that. Think about that story going into Saturday night. You think about.
Can you
there's a
imagine
lot
if
of
he
work
got
to
the
do.
100th win? The place would come apart.
I'm telling you, if it didn't, it won't come apart because it didn't when Fred run it a few years ago, but it darn sure come close to it.
It was close.
It was close, yeah. I mean, it's unreal. But Lance, I mean, and regardless, if Lance doesn't win this, 98
it's going to
wins.
happen at some
It's going to happen, yeah. Saturday night, season finale at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Ryan Smith picked up the win in the Hefter car. We're going to talk to Ryan. And it was his career first win at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Jeremy Schultz won the IRA. Chico had a couple of nights of sprint car racing. Justin Cox won on Friday night, and Tim Kading won on Saturday. Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery. For all of your screen printing and embroidery needs, go to www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. They do it. That's the best. You need to just go with them. Just do it. Just dial them up and do it. I'm telling you, it's time to get those 2020 shirts and plans, and it's time to do it. Now, we mentioned this, Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, California. It was the 27th annual Fall Nationals, and we talked about TK won on Saturday night. 51 cars checked in on Friday night. Justin Cox and Shane Golobic just going at it in the last lap. Troy Hennig with the call. Speed Shift TV, it's our Dryden Diesel all death-defying move of the week.
And now for the Dryden death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Golobic committed to the bottom. Justin Cox around the outside. He'll get the win opening night on the final lap, final turn.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt lay model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
The world's largest selection of sprint car merchandise. SprintCarStuff.com. Diecast, t-shirts, clothing, photographs, prints, and much more. Gifts for you or the sprint car fan in your life. SprintCarStuff.com has it. And all proceeds benefit the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Next time you're looking for sprint car stuff, remember SprintCarStuff.com. Your online home for any and all sprint car gifts and collectibles.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
Prepare your vehicle for the weather ahead during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase a Superstart battery and get up to a $25 gift card after mail-in rebate. Plus great deals on jumper cables, battery chargers, and more. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Terry McCarl, now a guy who's still trying to figure out what's up with that big right rear tire, and a lady who's tried to explain it to him for years. Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
T-Mac bringing us back. We are so glad you joined us. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. We are having a ball talking sprint car racing. Let's go to the Red Brand Fence hotline, because another guy that is just having a wonderful season picked up win number 16 with the Outlaws at Lernerville, the Commonwealth Clash. Brad Sweet's on the line. Hello, Brad. Welcome back, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again.
Dude, does winning ever get old? I mean, are you getting bored with this now? I mean, is this just getting old? This is the radio guy talking to the race car driver here. This never gets old, does it?
No, I can promise you that winning never gets old. It's it's one of those things that you always wish and hope for, that you can have seasons where you win races like we've been winning this year. And obviously, we're right in a championship battle, so it's right where we want to be with 12 races left, and we just want to go ahead and finish as strong as possible.
Brad, looking back to Lernerville, how did you know at all that Donnie dropped out? Did you know? Because I know earlier in the race you guys kind of battled back and forth and swapped lines a few times, but did you have any idea that when you won the race that he was actually had a mechanical failure and you had such a great points night?
Well, I knew he had a mechanical failure because I knew he was running second, and when we lined back up, he wasn't there anymore, and I just could. And then when he was pushing back on the track, I saw that he was having some trouble. Wasn't sure what it was and didn't know I kind of thought he came back on the track and was still racing. So I assumed he probably got back to, a decent finish, which he normally does. But, then we kind of got talking afterwards and realized that he didn't finish. So I knew we had a good points night. But, I hate to keep saying it, but we really try not to pay too much attention to him. And I feel like you can really get off track if you aren't just staying focused on what, got us in this position. And if you start racing for points, I feel like you start leaving positions on the table. You start being too conservative. And, I just think we got to keep our foot down and keep doing what we've been doing.
Brad, I agree. That approach, every champion in every sport I've ever talked to is when you focus on your own deal, that's what it is. However, something happened, and you weren't aware of it at the time. You might have been. You might have looked over and saw it. When Donnie was having his problem, the community that is the World of Outlaws, some of the guys working on his car were your guys, trying to get him back out. Cool. And it went a little crazy on social media, and Tony Stewart Racing, thank you guys and everything. I get that you don't want to focus on them, but when you have a situation like that, what is that relationship? Where does this describe that relationship to somebody and to really a lot of other forms of motorsports where that would never happen? What is that like?
Yeah, I just think that our form of racing is a little different as far as, we all have great respect for each other. I think the 15 teams, has the utmost respect for everybody in the pits. They race everybody clean. They treat everyone with respect, and they've been the car to beat, for years and years. And, I know our team looks up to them, and, there's friends, amongst the two teams. And, we don't want to beat Donnie because he has a mechanical failure or something bad happens. And I'm sure he doesn't want to beat me the same way. We just want to be able to race on the track head to head and, still have that respect for each other. So I'm proud of my guys for, helping him. It's the same thing that they would do for us. And a number of other teams out there. It seems like there's a lot of camaraderie between all the teams in the pits. And, I think just because we race so much, 90 times a year that you run into a lot more situations where people can use a hand here and there. So I think that's why teams are a lot more willing to help out. There's only 3 guys on each team. It's a small little, tight little knit community. So like I said, I'm proud of us for helping it, helping them, and kind of wish that we would have got to race it out on the racetrack. But it's we've had our share of misfortunes through the year, and it's just how racing works. There's a lot of ups and downs, and like I said, we're just going to try to go and finish as strong as possible now.
For sure. Brad, when you talk about not focusing on the points and just going out there to win races, that seems easier said than done. How as a driver can you really put that out of your mind when winning a championship is the ultimate?
Well, I just feel like you basically got to tell yourself that the minute you start thinking about the point, you will not drive as hard on the racetrack. You won't, get that position. You start to drive careful. You can't be careful. It's like any sport. The best defense is a good offense. We need to just stay, looking at ourselves and driving as hard as I can and getting as many positions each night, getting the best finish that we can get every single night, and then the points take care of themselves at the end of the year. As long as we go out there every night and give it our best, and at the end of the year, then we have nothing to, that we can look back and say we left on the table. Then the points. If we win it, great. If not, then we need to do better next year.
Lernerville was win number 50 for you. Are you a milestone guy? Did you ever think that, or your most important number is number 51 Friday night at Williams Grove? Does that even register with you what you're accomplishing?
I mean, not really. I think that when you're in the heat of the moment now, it's not. There'll be something you'll look back maybe at the end of the year or next year or 10 years down the road. Who knows? And probably be a lot more proud of it. I think 50 is pretty cool for me. I just never would have thought I would to get there and obviously have the season we're having. So I'm proud of it. But yeah, we're looking forward now to number 51 next weekend, and obviously the next milestone which would be 100, which hopefully is not too many years down the road.
I like that attitude. Brad, when you look forward to this weekend at Williams Grove, I know we're talking points, but when you go to Pennsylvania, there are a lot of good cars out there. What are your thoughts on Williams Grove? How much do you enjoy that track? Is there parts of it that you struggle with?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think it's a hidden secret that I've never been the best guy at Williams Grove, but, we've been getting better, and I actually, am a lot more positive going there. I know we can run good. It's just a matter of putting it all together. There's just a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of good cars, so it's easy to get buried there. So we just got to be on our game. We were third there last year, so the last time we were there in the summer. So we got some decent notes, and then, we'll keep working on some things that we've been doing here lately, and hopefully we can, have a good couple nights. $65,000 on the line up there, so it's a big weekend for sure.
Chatted with Erin Reitzel. It's going to be on our MAV TV show. We've already recorded that interview. Ashley and I did. And the track it, and he checked about the challenge of Williams Grove with very, very tight corners, very long straightaways. Brad, is there anything, is it, how unique is that racetrack?
It's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And it's the opposite of what I grew up on. It seems like for me, just the red dirt and the super long straightaways and the tight corners, something that's always been, it's been a challenge for me to get comfortable there. I started to get a lot more comfortable the last few seasons. So, there's just a lot of good competition too. So it's a very unique track, but reminds me of, other unique tracks that we go to that other drivers, have a hard time with, and we don't, and that's just because we got a lot of experience. So we're starting to get to that point where we're comfortable enough to contend for a win there for sure.
There you go.
Brad, going back to the points conversation, and one that you probably don't want to have too much of, but as a driver, you said how you approach it. You want to go out and win every night and stay on the offense. Is there anything you guys do differently as a team? Are you any more conservative with your fueling, with I don't even know. Is there anything you guys do different just to make sure you're on top of your game with that?
Well, we just, we're dotting our T's, dotting our I's and crossing our T's, and, obviously doing everything. But that's kind of what we do, each and every night. When we get to the Knoxville Nationals, we try to put our best equipment on. But at KKR, we have, great race cars, great parts. We keep everything freshened up. So, I think the guys are probably, just maybe double checking everything a little bit more now that we're getting to the end of the season. This weekend's a big race, and we've got a lot of things on the line. So, but we've everything we've been doing, we've been able to win races, and so we really don't want to change too much or overthink anything.
Yeah, it's working. It certainly is. And it is fun for us to watch, that is for sure. Brad, congratulations on the win, all the wins this year, the success you're having. We can't wait to see how it sorts out. Can't wait to catch up with you at the end of the year at the World Finals. But thanks for joining us here today on Wing Nation.
Yep, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
There we go. The Big Cat, Brad Sweet, absolutely rolling.
Yeah.
What an amazing story his is. What an amazing story. So great stuff. Always appreciate talking with Brad and appreciate him taking time out to gather up and chat with us. We do need to step away because when we come back, we're going to talk to another big winner from this past weekend. Ryan Smith picked up the big win at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway, and we'll talk to him next.
No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Check out the premier Shark Wing as well as other sprint car wings and components. Sprint car, mini and micro sprint wings, and the HRP Original Recess Rivet Wing. All HRP wings are wind tunnel tested. HRP carries a full line of affordable, top-of-the-line, USA-built sprint car components. Shop online for all this and more at hrpracing.com. The Racer's Choice, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings.
O'Reilly.
Prepare your vehicle for the weather ahead during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts with great deals on batteries and accessories. Plus, top off with Peak Long Life Universal Premixed Antifreeze and Coolant for just $10.99 per gallon. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing, as a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the past 16 years and a partner of Wing Nation for the past 4 years. We love sprint car racing, and we're there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
10 tours, over 200 nights of racing. The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 28th year. Whether you're enjoying the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour at Williams Grove, Eagle Raceway, Skagit Speedway, or any of the 9 ASCS regional tours across Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and beyond, winged and even non-winged, there's a race happening near you. Check online for schedule details at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And when you can't be there live, catch the National Tour and select regional events on RacingBoys.com.
I'm Greg Wilson. Everyone has a hero. Erin's is Steve Kinzer, and Steve's is Paul Sides. We obviously know who likes to party more. You're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRM.com.
It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. That's our Hercules Tires driver.
It is.
Yes. And you know what today is? October 1st.
Oh, new set of tires.
New set of tires. New set of tires. That's right. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Get registered right now. You could be our October winner.
Good time to get them before the
It's
winter.
a good time, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you kidding me? And they got them. They got them for every vehicle you got, every kind of buggy you got. They got tires for them. HerculesTires.com/MRN. Let's go to the guest line, picking up his career first win at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Of course, he knows the way to victory lane. He's done it multiple times before. Driver of that Hefner, number 72, Ryan Smith's on the line. Hello, Ryan. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Glad to be back. How are we doing today?
We are doing fantastic. Okay, so your first career win. We knew you were going to win races this year, but did you think Lincoln was going to be the spot where you got the first one?
Nah, to be totally honest with you, I did not. And, and actually, that was our best track all year.
Yeah.
Seems to be odd for us, but that's just how it goes.
Ryan, talk about that battle you had with Danny Dietrich, pulling sliders back and forth. But that last lap, you chose to run the bottom, hopefully, I think, avoid that slider from Danny. But just talk about the emotions as a driver when you pick that line and you're coming to the checkered and you're just so nervous that maybe he got a run up top.
Yeah, well, we'll back it up. Actually, got through traffic really well through most of the race and thought I heard him a few times. So we ended up having a yellow with 7 to go, and the top of 1 and 2 was getting pretty thin. So I decided to play some defense, and it actually gave him the chance to pull that slider in 3. And I committed to the bottom there in 1 and 2 the last 5 laps, and just tried to hit my marks. And 3 and 4, the only place to be was around the top, and I was just good enough where I could almost let him get by and stay in the curve and actually get a run back off and get back by him. So it was good racing. I'll tell you, them guys at Lincoln had the track really, really good all year. It was racy, and finally had a shot to start up front and start from the pole. So it was my race to lose. But to beat guys like Danny and Monteith, who've been really good lately, it was pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome for sure. Ryan, you got the ride this year with Mike Hefner, one of the top cars. Of course, just a tragic situation to put you there with Greg's passing last year. I'm fairly confident you wanted a few more wins than you've had thus far, but of course, there's some big paying races coming up. But how would you assess the adjustment over to this team and finally getting the win for this team on Saturday night in a 410 car?
I'd say it was pretty good. Like you said, I was figuring on some more wins this year, but I had a month and a half vacation in July.
Right.
I got a concussion pretty bad, and so that set us back. And we've been strong all year. Just couldn't get that monkey off our back and get that W. I had multiple seconds, and I don't even know how many top 5. Was in the hunt most of the time. Just the draws, or we just couldn't hit on our feature package, so to speak. So definitely. I'll be honest with you, I was hoping it was going to happen this year. We're getting toward the end here, and the monkey was getting pretty heavy in my back, and it was just beating me up mentally. It's just it's a car that's used to winning 20 times a year. Obviously we got huge shoes to fill, and Greg was one of the best. So it was hard to kind of get over that and try and beat that and get that first win. So pretty cool to get it done. Like I said, it was we're in October now, and finally got one. So hopefully we can keep that momentum rolling here. We got some big races coming up, and we got some speed. So we just got to do our homework and keep it rolling.
For sure.
Ryan, when you talk about missing a month and a half in mid-season to concussion, Talk about how difficult that is mentally for a driver to miss races, but you're with a new team, you just start to get the ball rolling, and then you have this break. How difficult was that time period for you?
It's hard to explain. It was very difficult. This is my 8th year, I believe, in 410s, and first time I had to sit out because of an injury. And, what do you do in July on a weekend? Sprint car racing all the time. It was just mentally, it beat me up that, I finally got an opportunity like this and I get hurt, so we just got in a rhythm. And, for some reason, the last few years for me, it took me till July or August to get rolling. Well, when I had to sit out all of July and halfway through August, so we just couldn't get rolling. It was almost like starting over again once I got back in the car. And once we got back in, I had pumped out like 8 top 5s in a row, and we were fast off the trailer. But I just couldn't get that ball rolling, get in the rhythm, and I probably missed 15 or 18 shows. So Speed Week and Kings Royal and all them, the heart of the season, was missed. So it was tough. I saw a good doctor out in Pittsburgh, and honestly, it wasn't for going out to see him, but probably mentally wouldn't even be ready now. It's just that's how crazy a situation a concussion what it does to you. So that was my first one that I know of, and hopefully my last. But definitely a learning experience. Was just grateful to be able to get back in the car.
I can imagine. Without getting too deep into the medical stuff, the doctor in Pittsburgh, is that the same guy Blaney and Dale Earnhardt Jr. have used?
Yep.
Okay,
yep,
cool.
Dave set me up with him.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be tough and just kind of beat it myself. Well, 2 weeks later, it wasn't getting any better. It was getting worse. So I called Dave up and said, "Hey, can you set that up for me?" And he got me in, and it was definitely the 3 trips to Pittsburgh and back, but well worth every dollar spent because I learned a lot about how your mind and all that stuff works, and how to beat it and how to get over it and get back at it. So
yeah. I talked at length one time. We were just on pit road to Dale Earnhardt Jr. about that doctor, and then I knew Dave had talked to the guy too. So that is great. I'm glad they hooked you up in that spot. You talked about your fast coming off from the truck. This is not breaking news to you. The World of Outlaws are rolling in there Friday night at Williams Grove. You better be fast off from the truck. Just assess how you feel going into the National Open weekend.
I'm actually feeling pretty good. Last handful of weeks at Williams Grove, we were second, quick time one night. We've been fast, so we're going back with the same package. And now after a win, my head's a little bit bigger, a little more confident. So I'm looking forward to it. We're guns loaded and ready to go. So we just got to do our job. And obviously, it's all about them 2 laps. That's your whole night. So got to time good and go from there.
Ryan, after everything you've been through this season and what the Hefner Racing team went through last year, your win this past weekend must have been emotional, satisfying, and there must be a sense of relief for you, the feeling that weight of getting that first win for them.
Yeah, it was very emotional in Victory Lane there Saturday. Actually, I didn't time it, but the Victory Lane interview felt like a half hour. I mean, we were talking about concussion stuff and everything we went through this year and what Mike's been through the last 2 years, and it's tough. It was tough on everybody. And, we had high expectations and, like I said, we weren't slow all year. We just didn't get the W, and got 2 to 360. So at least we got in the winner's circle, but to get that 410 win finally, was really cool. And, Mike was there and most of our sponsors were there. Chris from Red Robin, he was actually out of Lernerville, so he didn't get to see it. That was like his first race he missed all year, and of course we won. So I might tell him to stay home for the National Open.
Yeah.
But it's cool to get Red Robin in Victory Lane. That was kind of me and him talked a few times here the last couple months about what we can do to pump them up, and he just kept saying, "You got to get that win in the 410, get that win with the 410." Well, we finally did. So.
Yeah.
Pretty cool have people like that involved with our team, and obviously Mike Hefner and our whole team, all our sponsors. It's a huge team effort, and to finally get it done is really cool.
Really cool for sure. And the good news is you talk about that one win, you pull off a couple more wins before the end of the year, and I think the whole picture looks a whole lot different because there's nothing but big races left. So You can sneak out another one or two here, and I think you might be in pretty good shape with the when you look back on it overall, big picture. Ryan, congratulations on the recovery during the season, the win on Saturday night, and we wish you the best this weekend at Williams Grove.
All righty. Well, I appreciate it. You guys coming up?
I'm not going to make it. Not going to be able to make it. I'm not far away. I'm going to be at Dover. But there used to be a guy by the name of Tony that had a fast airplane that went between the two, but he no longer comes to the NASCAR races until Sunday morning. So I've lost my plane ride up there. So I wish I could, but yeah. Wish I could. You got it. Thanks, man.
Thanks for having me on.
There you go. Ryan Smith. So you want to be a race car driver. You want to be a sprint car driver. You want to stand on wings. You want to show off. You want to be a big-time star. Look at Ryan Smith's life over the last 5 or 6 years. He was under the tutelage of Donnie Kreitz and then kind of went out on his own a little bit. And early in his career, he went up and he whooped the World of Outlaws at Port Royal and then bounced around and had some good situations, some medium situations, some bad situations. You get the opportunity to go with a great situation with Mike Hefner. You get rolling, you get knocked out, you're sitting out of the race car for 6 weeks, and you come back. It's a glamorous life at the top. It really is. But I'm telling you what, you got to have a strong stomach and heart to do it. And Ryan Smith's proven that.
Absolutely.
It's amazing what that kid's been through. And yet he keeps right on digging and right on trucking. And he drove a masterful race there at Lincoln. He really did. When he said Dietrich, and I'm telling you, Monteith is on fire right now.
Yep.
Monteith is rolling, and you get Monteith rolling at Lincoln, he could shut you out. And so for Smith to beat those two guys, or for Ryan to beat those guys, it is great. Really, really neat stuff. Appreciate Ryan taking some time with us here today. Hey, let's step away. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away 1 set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Since the dawn of American industry, Dryden was there as the country built its first roads, laid the blocks of its factories, and spanned rivers with new bridges and rails. Today, with Dryden's All Technology, we instill this heritage into every Dryden oil, lubricant, fluid, and DEF product we make. Dryden is a tradition of performance with 21st century technology. Dryden, official motor oil of the World of Outlaws, and always American-owned and operated. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Red Brand Fence, the most durable, dependable, and safest fence in the world. Top horse farms use Red Brand Fence to safeguard their equine investments. Cattlemen install it to ensure their cattle are safe. Racetracks around the world use it to protect spectators, fans, and crews. For over a century, Red Brand's quality has been used internationally for countless uses. Red Brand Fence, the most trusted name in fence. Explore our products at redbrand.com.
This is Derek's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
After the 3rd time jump-starting my car, I finally realized my battery was dying. So I stopped by O'Reilly to have it checked. They tested it right there in the parking lot. It was bad, real bad. But they helped me find the right battery for my car and even installed it for free. Now my car starts like new.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Casey Kane. Now back to Wing Nation.
Thank you, Casey. Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar coming up later this week. Mike Nazaruk, he had that Munchkin car that was so famous in USAC. Chuck Hulse, John Singer, Ed Winfield, John C. Vance, and Sunday, Lance DeWeese. Now, you know what he wants to. You know he wants his birthday. Yeah, you know what he wants for his birthday. He's going to be a little greedy and wants it a day early. You know that with old Lance. Great stuff. But yesterday, Monday, the 30th of September, would have been the birthday of Don Racer Brown, or as he was also known as, the Prince of Darkness. Okay. He was born in Columbus, Indiana, 1937. At 17 years old, he was hanging out in Southern California. He went to a midget race, and his life changed forever because he was hooked. Started working with Curtis Craft, which that was the company at the time that was building all the cars.
Yeah.
All those roadsters. Started working with them, drove some in the early 60s, and he was a sharp cookie. In 1966, he built a race car called the Mechanical Rabbit. This thing had power steering, progressive torsion bars, weight jackers on board, and some other secret devices that nobody has ever told to anybody. He built 3 cars, one for him, one for Greg Weld, and one for Joe Saldana, and those guys wore everybody out in those cars. Joe Saldana won Knoxville.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg Weld. I mean, it's just those cars. That Mechanical Rabbit in open wheel racing is one of those cars, and he built 3 of them. And huge success. Then they sold them like 4 or 5 years later. They sold the cars, and the guys kept winning in the cars. But the technology had kind of moved on. He had a shop. His shop was outside of turn number 4 at Indy. In the mid-'70s, they'd wad one up in practice during the month of May. They'd haul it over to his shop, and he would fix the car and send it back over to cool. There's countless stories of cars that made a qualifying attempt or were already qualified into the Indy 500 and got repaired at his race shop.
That's neat.
And he also worked with Kenny Weld on the Batmobile, that dirt modified, that Lincoln Continental they ran at Syracuse, okay? He was known as the Prince of Darkness because he hated the mornings. He would work from afternoon till sunrise. So when you'd wad up a car at Indy, you'd take it over, and his day was just beginning, and he'd work on it until sunrise. And then you'd go back to the racetrack, and there it was. Fabulous. Great storyteller. Rumor is he loved airplanes, pretty women, and cigarettes. There you have it. So, and those are the stories. Don Racer Brown, or the Prince of Darkness, enshrined. He was a 2005. This was great. 2005 inductee of the Hall of Fame. He was fighting emphysema. Okay, he was able to go to the induction a few months before he passed. And so he was there when he was enshrined into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, died later that year. So Don Brown, 2005 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. And for every guy busting their knuckles on race cars and every guy building these race cars and gals working on them now, it's guys like Don Brown that made it all possible and built this sport to what it is. And he is enshrined forever at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum over in turn number 2 at Knoxville. Love those stories.
Me too.
Love those stories. Just great characters for sure. So there you have it. Wing Nation gear. You can get that at www.wingnation.com. That's wingnation.com. Now, the HRP racing. Now, speaking of getting yourself set up for next year, okay, it's time to get that. Now, you're out there running around. You're all there racing and everything. You don't even want to open the door to the shop because you've thrown something in there in July and you've thrown 6 things in there in June, and now it's a mess, and you got to spend time in the race shop now. Well, Hefner Racing Products, they've got all of this stuff that can organize your shop. So all of you in racing, and this is not just sprint cars. I know a lot of other racers. So hrpracing.com, that's hrpracing.com. Now's the time to get this stuff. So that when you're done, the National Open or Port or this week, and you're like, oh my God, we got to move back into the shop. Get the stuff now. So that when you move into the shop, you can put up some shelves, you can put up some racks, you can put some stuff
organized.
Here. You get it organized. You take a few days to get it organized, spend a few bucks at HRP, and then you go into the off season and whoop, you're rolling right
way
through the
more
off year.
efficient.
Way more efficient. So HRPRacing.com. The calendar, the upcoming calendar, we're going to talk about an event that we don't talk about enough, the Short Track Nationals. And Ben Shelton from MSR Mafia is going to join us. We're going to do that on Thursday. And then coming up on Saturday, I think I might have mentioned this, Erin Reitzel joins us on Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. And Erin, what a story, what a year it's been, and he just is wonderful. So that's coming up at 7:30 and 10:30 a.m. on MAV TV on Saturday morning. Thanks to Brad Sweet and Ryan Smith for joining us here today.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Watch Wing Nation Saturday mornings on MAV TV. You can also find Wing Nation on wingnation.com or your favorite podcast provider. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.